Freshman year, I was lost, chasing parties, women, and trying to impress people who didn't matter. 3 years later, I'm a straight-A student with honors pursuing my dreams in a bunch of different fields. If I could go back and talk to my freshman year self, this is the brutally honest advice that I'd give. True freedom comes from genuinely not giving a College is weird. You're finally away from home, surrounded by people you've never met. And suddenly, everything that you do feels like it's underneath a microscope. What you wear, what you eat, how you talk, where you're from, people will judge it all. And in your heart, you're gonna wanna care. You'll want to be liked and to blend in, but I'm telling you now that that's a trap. If you live for their approval, you'll die by their rejection. The one thing that takes most people years to figure out is that when the world fades away, the only opinion that matters is your own. What do you think about yourself? How do you feel? That's the only thing that really sticks. And here's the thing, I wish someone would have told me that when I got to school, because I came into college thinking that this was my chance to reinvent myself. And so I did. I became the kid who stayed up late, went to every party, and did all the crazy stuff. And guess what? I hated it. I wasn't being me. I was being the person that other people wanted me to be. Eventually, it all came rushing back. I told myself I can't do this anymore. I chose authenticity. And I swear to you, the moment that I did, I felt so much relief. Listen, there's a big difference between changing because you're evolving and changing because you feel pressured to. And it's your job to know the difference. And here's how you figure that out. Ask yourself, if I was completely alone, would I still want to do this? And if the answer is no, you're in the red zone. Because at the end of the day, it's better to like yourself and have no friends than to hate yourself and know everybody. Once you stop performing for other people and you become authentic, you're left with just you. And that, my friends, is when the real questions start showing up. Because here's the brutally honest reality that nobody likes to admit. In college, you have to choose fun or freedom. This lesson is going to be an eye-opener. Because when you get to school, you have choices. You can either accept that you won't build much of anything, but create tons of memories, or you can lock in for 4 years and come out with real skills, discipline, and clarity to build something valuable. And I know most of you are thinking, MJ, why can't I just have both? Why can't I just grind during the week and then party on the weekends and let loose a little bit? And I'll tell you this, the answer is simply because you can have everything, just not all at once. The trade-off for comfort is progress. The trade-off for progress is comfort. And if you prioritize both, you'll end up like most people, not fully committed to either with half the stories and half the results. But if you clicked on this video, it means that you wanted more than that. You don't want to be mediocre or average. You want to become the exception. You want to leave school having done something truly meaningful to you that'll set you up for the future. And to be completely candid, this doesn't mean that you can never go enjoy the college experience. But you have to choose what leads and what follows. If your default is to live for the next party, then don't be shocked when your results reflect that, and vice versa. I say this from experience because I tried to prioritize both, but the thing is, the word priority cannot be plural. The root of the word priority means to prioritize one thing above all else. I thought that I could grind during the week and still party on the weekends and still call myself exceptional, but all I did was stall. The people who focused on experiences had better stories, and the people who focused on building made more progress. I was caught somewhere in the middle, and it showed. The reason this lesson is so important, especially for ambitious students, is because most people will come out of school feeling like they wasted their time, wishing they could have a do-over, and it's simply because they were not clear on what they wanted from the get-go. Guys, college is a tool. In either direction you choose, you need to understand the trade-offs, because the worst thing that can happen is you go down a path that you know you're going to regret, and now you're out 4 years of time. If I could go back, I would have shook my younger self until he understood this, because there are no do-overs. You get what you get. And you have to live with the results. So get clear on exactly what you want out of these 4 years, and don't stop until you get it. Once you gain clarity on the direction you want to go in, you're going to need to change your mindset. This means taking 100% accountability for every single thing that happens in your life. What you're going to notice when you get to school is that everyone, and I mean absolutely everyone, makes excuses for why they aren't doing good. If they did bad on a test, well, the professor didn't explain something right. Or they failed a paper, oh, the professor just grades too hard. No one takes the blame, but where there is a lack of accountability, there is opportunity. The key to separating yourself from everyone else is taking full responsibility for everything that happens to you, good or bad. Even if it wasn't you, or even if it's not fair, guess what? It's my fault. And a lot of you are gonna hear this and be taken aback, like, how can everything be my fault? But let me ask you this. How does it serve you to blame something else? The only reason to blame something else is to protect your ego. but that leaves you vulnerable because a fragile ego never achieved greatness. Greatness falls to those who are willing to lower themselves to pick it up, not protect their ego. If you take responsibility for everything, then you're gonna be in the driver's seat. That right there is the exact moment that the control shifts from the cosmos to you. This lesson is about reclaiming your power. If you want good grades, study harder. If you want to nail that presentation, practice more. Your job as a student is to leave everything on the field. The same kids who make excuses are the same kids who will find a shiny glass ceiling waiting for them in the professional world. Because for them, it's easier to blame their circumstances than to blame themselves, and that's what's going to keep them stuck. So please, learn this lesson now. Your default needs to be, how could I have done better? Not, how can I avoid the blame? Lock in, because this next lesson is going to be the most important thing that I can possibly tell you today. Choose your friends carefully. And I'm not talking about that generic, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. No, I want to tell you the hard truth. College has some scary stuff, man. When I tell you that peer pressure is real, it's life-changing, reputation-ruining, and future-ending type of real. You're gonna see things that you've only seen in movies, and it's gonna take more than willpower to walk away. While this is the most exciting time of your life, it's also the most risky, because all it takes is one little thing to throw you into a completely new life. There's a reason that this is stressed so hard. It's because it's so true. If you have bad friends, you will be shocked at how much your life takes a turn. So here's a good litmus test. If you can't be honest around them, they are not your friend. Real friends are real with you. Having to walk on eggshells is not conducive to your life or where you want to go. If they get angry with your boundaries, they are not your friend. Your boundaries protect your goals. Any attempt to breach them shows they don't respect you. If they only support the old version of you, they are not your friend. Real friends grow with you. If your progress makes them uncomfortable, it's because you remind them of the action that they're not taking. And someone who resents your growth, that's not your friend. So choose your friends carefully, because they will either push you toward your goal or pull you straight into regret. And trust me, regret hurts a lot worse than missing out. Even with the right friends, there's still only one person who has the power to protect your future. It's you. Which brings me to this. It is okay for you to be selfish. People love to preach about being selfless, always helping, always saying yes, always putting others first. But the lesson is that if you're not selfish with your time, your energy, and your focus, someone else will be. Suddenly your days get spent doing things that don't move you forward. You're solving other people's problems while yours pile up in the background. And before you can even notice it, months go by, leaving you stuck in that same exact place wondering why your life isn't changing. Selfishness isn't about cutting people off or being cold. It's about protecting your priority. You have goals, you have things that you're aspiring toward. None of that happens if you keep putting yourself last. But be prepared, because when you start setting these boundaries, people are going to talk. They'll tell you that you've changed. They'll have sly comments about what you're trying to achieve. They'll tell you that you've become distant, trying to demonize the fact that you have some big goals that you want to achieve. But my friends, take that as a sign that you are winning, because they're right. You are changing. Every major growth spurt in life will require you to protect what matters most. You have to protect your time. It's not selfish, it's strategic, and anyone who gets in the way of that or has something to say about that, cut them loose. Cut them loose. Let them talk. Most of the time, the people who are the loudest are the same people who benefited from your distraction. So yeah, I'm telling you, right here, right now, be selfish. Not mean, not a jerk, not a dick to people, but protect the thing that matters most, not just for your goals, but for your future, your peace, and your freedom. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one who has to live with the results of your decisions. Once you lock in on your goals and you've set those boundaries, there's one more skill that will make you undeniable. You have to learn how to play the game. Look, I'm gonna be candid with you. College is chess, and this is how you can move like a queen or king. Well, I guess not really king, because king can only move one way. You get the point. If you know chess, you get the point. Okay. Professors aren't these all-knowing, omnipotent beings. They're human. Most of them are just on autopilot. They'll walk into class, flip through the same slides from the last 5 years, barely learn anyone's name, and go through the motions until the semester ends. It's boring for them too. But if you're smart, you can use that to your advantage. You don't need to be a straight A genius or the loud student that sits in the front row. You just need to find a way to break their routine. Because my friends, that is how you win. That is how you unlock perks and opportunities that other students will never see. It's simple stuff, really. Take 5 minutes out of your day to spark a quick conversation. Show up to office hours, check in, and ask a thoughtful question. A lot of students avoid their professors, but if you show up, even casually, they will remember your name. And once they remember your name, it's checkmate. This lesson is not about becoming the teacher's pet, because trust me, professors don't like that either. But if you show genuine curiosity, ask good questions, and show respect for their subject, they'll naturally start rooting for you. And here's the thing. Even if you're struggling in the class, professors will bend the rules for students that they like. They'll offer extra credit, extensions, second chances, stuff that they won't mention to the rest of the class. And if you ask any of them, they'll deny it. But it's true. I've seen it happen a million different times. And you might be asking, well, why is that? Why are they willing to do that, MJ? And there's one answer. Because they're human. And humans help people they like. And let's just call this what it is. If your intention going into it is to unlock these perks, then this is a form of manipulation. But I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that manipulation isn't always bad. Everyone loves to act like it's some evil thing, but really, all manipulation means is influencing people to act a certain way. That's it. Your fitness coach? They're manipulating you. They're motivating you, hyping you up, celebrating your success. Why? To get you to stick to the plan and lose the weight. Parents manipulate their kids all the time, rewarding them for good grades, but also punishing them for bad behavior. Manipulation isn't bad by default. It depends how and why you're doing it. And if you think a little deeper, this isn't just about school. This will apply to anything in your life. If you just be nice to people and show genuine interest in the things that they are also interested in, they are more likely to act in a way that would benefit you. It's just about building up goodwill, man. It's really all it is. Real power is understanding how people work and being willing to use it to your advantage. The people who can actually embody this lesson to its full effect, they win every single time. But that's only half the battle. The other half is organizing your life. You see, most students aren't inherently lazy, they're just unorganized. That's it. They just don't have a system to keep up with everything that's being thrown at them. Here's what happens. They try to keep due dates, reminders, assignments, events, all in their head or on some little sticky notes somewhere, and maybe that works for like a week or two, but then one thing slips and it's like a domino effect. An assignment gets missed, then a test sneaks up out of nowhere. Suddenly they're behind, wondering why everything feels overwhelming. You want to be in the top 1%? Build a system that actually works. And I'm not talking about having 5 different apps that you barely check. I'm talking about consolidating everything into one unified place. Personally, I'd recommend either Notability or Notion, and this isn't sponsored, by the way. Those are just 2 tools that I've tried myself, and you can literally use them to run your entire college life. And there's a layer that goes even deeper, because it's not just about the apps. It's about your day-to-day flow. Ask yourself, when do you actually get your best work done? Morning, afternoon, late at night? And more importantly, do you protect that time? A lot of students, heck, a lot of people don't even know when they're most productive, let alone structure their time around it. You need to get clear on how you're gonna structure your time around your peak productivity window. For me, it was early in the morning. I knew that I did my best work before the noise of the day consumed me. So I stopped fighting it and I leaned into it and built my entire schedule around it. That simple shift changed everything. Because college isn't just about passing classes or having fun, it's where you learn how to manage your time before life forces you to. And if you have the foresight to figure that out now, you'll move through college and life on a completely different level. Look, organizing your life won't win you any awards, no one's gonna clap for it, but that's the other half of the battle. And once you solve it, everything gets easier. But let's go even deeper. Even with the perfect system, even with a locked in routine, you're still gonna mess up. And how do I know that? Because every single person does. But the people who absolutely crush it in life, they don't just survive their mistakes, they use them. In my college career, I've seen a lot of students make a lot of mistakes. Maybe they cheated or drank too much or forgot about a test, but the common theme is they always try to just forget about it and move on. That's like checkmating yourself, because mistakes are inevitable. That's just a fact. But you get the choice on whether you use them or you let them drag you down. In the book of MJ, there is nothing worse than making a big mistake and then 3 months later doing the exact same thing. And I've seen it happen over and over and over again. I had a best friend who kept going back to the same girl over and over again. Like the same shit was happening. and he kept going back, that ruined his life. For those 2 years, he was a different person. That's the power that mistakes can hold on your life. And the problem is he never stopped to actually figure out why he messed up in the first place. And that was a big pivotal moment for him because he finally realized that mistakes will repeat themselves until you look it in the eye and pay attention. The faster that you can look, break them down, and figure out exactly where you went wrong, the faster you stop making the same mistake. And my friends, when you start thinking like that, you become dangerous. Because now you're not just reacting to life, you're learning from it. That's how you outpace everyone without trying much harder. You just stop repeating the same dumb mistakes that they keep making. Level 2 of this lesson is that it gives you a superpower to not be emotionally ruined when you make a mistake. Because your mindset flips from like, oh shit, to this is a great lesson, I'm not gonna make this mistake again. And honestly, for me, it's turned into a game. Because now when a new opportunity presents itself, I'm trying to make as many mistakes as I possibly can so that I can learn. Your successes are only as great as the quality and quantity of your failures. Guys, this whole video has been leading me to this final point. You get 4 years. That's it. 4 years to either build the foundation for the rest of your life or drift through it and hope that everything somehow works out. In those 4 years, they're not as much time as you think. They go by lightning quick. And the crazy part is you don't even realize it at first. Year 1 feels like a blur. Everything is new and it feels endless. It's like you're in your own little fairy tale. And after that, year 2 comes and you're still telling yourself that there's plenty of time to hit your goals, lock in, become the person you wanted to be. But then year 3 hits. And suddenly it's real. You start hearing people talk about their jobs, internships, and graduation. And then before you get a chance to even catch your breath, you're done. You're walking across the stage, packing up your stuff, and wondering where all the time went. And here's something that you need to know. College is not about the classes. Heck, you're gonna forget most of them. It's not about the parties or the stories or the once-in-a-lifetime experiences that everyone hypes up. College is about the person you become while you're here. The habits you build, the way you think, the way you handle pressure, the way that you show up for yourself even when nobody is watching. That's what determines everything that happens after this. And I get it. It's easy to say, well, I just want to enjoy it right now. And you should enjoy it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and enjoy yourself, but you have to understand that every choice you make here leaves a mark. The nights that you waste, the chances that you ignore, the work you avoid, it all adds up. And one day you'll look back and realize that you either used these years to build something real or you threw them away chasing distractions that never mattered to you to begin with. So no, I am not here to tell you to be perfect because Lord knows that I'm not. I'm not here to say that you should grind nonstop, but I am here to tell you this. Do not waste this time. Don't be the person who looks back with regret, wishing that their story had different chapters. Get clear on what you want. Stories, fun. Figure out what leads and what follows. Chase it relentlessly and don't let anyone pull you off course. Because when it's all said and done, nobody else has to live with the life that you create here but you. Make it one that you can be proud of. Or don't. But if nothing else, remember this. Regret only shows up when it's too late to fix it. As always, I'm rooting for you.